I'll call tonight's meeting of Lyon City Council to order. We'll start with the invocation, then followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather here this evening. We come before you today with grateful hearts, asking for your wisdom and guidance as we begin this meeting. We ask that you provide your healing hand for all who are suffering from illness. You know every pain, every worry, and every burden they carry. Please continue to bless those who serve, support, and volunteer for the betterment of this community. We ask that you watch over every shift, every call that our police officers, firemen, and EMTs endure. Please keep them safe. As the country recently celebrated America's 250th birthday, we thank you for the blessings of liberty, the opportunities we have enjoyed, and the countless men and women who have sacrificed to preserve our freedoms. In your name, we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll do the roll call for attendance.
Bagheera.
Here.
Cherry. Edwards.
Here.
Kiko. Here. King. Here. Lonis.
Here.
Mastriani.
Here. Okay, Councilwoman Cherry was unable to attend tonight. Request that we make a motion to excuse her from tonight's meeting. Motion by Mr. Mastriani, seconded by Kiko.
Bagheera.
Yes.
Cherry. I'm sorry, Edwards.
Yes.
Kiko. Yes. King. Yes. Lonis.
Yes.
Mastriani.
Yes.
Okay, next on to the minutes. You've all received copies of the minutes electronically. You all have had a chance to read. Are there any revisions, corrections? I do have one. It had to deal with my motion at the last meeting in which I tried to get Resolution 5526 added to the agenda. I have provided my corrections to the clerk. She'll review to make sure they're accurate, and if there are any changes, I would assume we'll resubmit a copy of the notes to everyone on the email. Okay? We'll go ahead and make a motion to accept the minutes. Is that pending or not? No? Okay, we'll hold it to the first meeting in August once the revisions are made. Okay, thank you. Next is communications.
I have the items listed on the agenda with no additions.
Okay. Do we have a motion to file? A motion by Councilman Mastriani, seconded by Councilman Bagheera. Roll call, please.
Bagheera.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Kiko.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Lonis.
Yes.
Mastriani.
Yes.
Okay, on to administrative reports. Mayor Grove.
Thank you, President Lones, and welcome City Council and citizens of Alliance. We're glad you're here this evening. The first item is receipts collected through the Mayor's office during the month of May and June of 26 for water, sewer, cemetery, building, and engineering. For May, it was $1,031,621.72. For June, it was $964,030.68. The second item, in review of property code violations and illegal dumping, blight conditions, both residential and commercial. We're spending a lot of time to continually upgrade this area because it's never ending. We've got 2 full-time code enforcement officers, one for residential and the other for commercial and new construction. Plus Jen Merriman, Deputy Director of Planning and Administration. She assists as well at times with hands-on support as needed. For that, we are thankful. Through the House Oversight Board, we're discussing 2 additional support plans to improve enforcement. We've met with Patrolman Daniel Fido, Sergeant Braden Wittenberg, and Chief X, who have designed a program to deal with the problem locations such as abandoned houses, unsightly properties, and homeless encampments on private property where we have the most issues. As a matter of fact, they've obtained new drone equipment, and they'll be using that equipment to make these searches as well. But with the plan, they have a designated blight officer from the Alliance Police Department who work directly with the city's code enforcement officers to identify problems and addresses and enforce citations. Having a police officer go along with the citations makes it more impressive and more to the point when they do go out. The second area, the city health department, as well, Randy Wiskowski, our health commissioner, will directly assist with house code issues with a more stronger enforcement part of citations and make direct contact with property owners. Mr. Wiskowski, he has the authority to condemn and totally demo the house the following day. He's got that kind of authority. And of course, also teaming with the city's law department, Andrew Selwall, our law director, his team does superb work in backing all the different departments. So we believe this will create a better proactive code enforcement, inspection fees, and follow up on the fines of all the residential and commercial property issues. And now this is just, we're in the discussion stage, but I just want to give everybody a heads up of what we're looking at here. It's always ongoing, it's all very important. My third item, the summer season, of course, is in full swing. The success of the 4th of July, 250 events ending, and the 66th anniversary Greater Alliance Carnation Festival beginning July 30th through August 9th. Is a big event, and it's hard to imagine we're already at this part in our summer. But the leadership efforts of all the city's hardworking and loyal management staff, they make this happen. And with that, of course, we support and we respect and we say thank you every chance that we get. And as always, council and citizens as well. If you've got any issues, any problems, any questions, don't hesitate to call or stop by administration to express your thoughts. And of course, we can work together to get the facts to you. Mr. President, that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any questions for the mayor? Councilwoman Kiko?
You know what, that's a really good approach with the property enforcement issues. Do you have numbers on how many inspections you guys have done to this date?
Oh, no, I don't have the exact number. right now.
Maybe next council meeting, could you provide that, please?
I'll get it out to you tomorrow.
Okay, nice job on putting a team together. Thank you.
Any other questions for the mayor? Councilwoman King?
Yes, so even though the property with the taxes are paid up and everything, the health inspector, the man at the health department, he can still order for it to be condemned and tore down?
According to procedures, whatever the procedure may be, we can give that extra support that we need to back us when there is an issue. And the demo is usually, that is the last thing, once it's condemned.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions for the mayor? Seeing none, we'll move on to Safety Service Director, Mr. Lewis.
Good evening, Mr. President and members of council and our guests. I distributed a departmental work summary document just highlighting the last 2 weeks. There continues to be a lot going on with the summer events. I did want to give a separate update on the USA gas station. We're working with the health department, with the state of Ohio, and there's 2 approaches we're trying to use on this property. For those of you that drive by, you see the above ground issues, the awnings, and what you don't see is the below ground, the existing tank or tanks that are still there. So we're trying to do a 2-prong approach, and that is address the above ground and the below ground in separate entities, because the state fire marshal, the Buster, the Bureau of Underground Storage Tank Removal, have their specific guidelines for the underground aspect and requirements, whereas above ground, the health department is the most helpful to us so far. We have offered to, and we are prepared to remove the above ground items if we are legally allowed to. We have not reached that point yet. More updates to come, but I just wanted to acknowledge it's a 2-prong approach, both above what you see and below what you don't. The last item I wanted to mention was We received a second resignation of one of our administrative leadership team members. Our planning and development director is leaving us. We recently lost the assistant city engineer. And I want to acknowledge these 14 of our FUE employees are critical to the daily operation of the city, and what happens every day within our community. These are the people that oversee and manage that. I ask that we continue to please respect them and support them. Thank you.
Any questions for Safety Service Director? Councilwoman Kiko?
So did the EPA confirm that there was still, I guess, gas in the tanks?
Yes, we have inspection that indicate there is still fuel in the tank or tanks that shows up. And that's part of the motivation for them to continue with their authority to, and the law director may be able to help clarify. There are deadlines that were sent to the owner. It's a Tampa address, and two of those deadlines, one was May 20th that they did not respond. The second one is August 11th. So we're hoping for after August 11th, assuming there's still no response, that we'll be able to get more support from the state.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the Safety Service Director? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to Law Director Sowell. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what I just handed out was my response to AT&T and they had threatened us with a PUCO violation. They had done a complaint and sent it over to us. I did not want to send it to you guys council by email. I didn't want to create any type of public meeting. I did let the mayor, safety service director, city engineer, and auditor know of my response when I dated it on July 14th. I waited until today to hand you a hard copy, and I know it's dense and it's something that you all can take home with you. But ultimately, I have several issues with the way AT&T presented their arguments. They mentioned that we amended our code in 2025, and the code amendment that we did was only to very specific things, whereas the actual fee structure, the 0.5%, 2%, actually went into effect 2021. AT&T has paid that previously, or their contractors have paid it previously. So they actually have actual notice of our fee structure and have paid it. So all the arguments regarding we're not going to pay this fee, this is an unreasonable fee, you have been paying it, so don't tell me that you haven't known about it. So I have not heard a response from them yet. I did extend them an olive branch at the end of it, at the end of my letter, just kind of explaining that at no time to date have they ever explained what they were willing to pay if our fee structure is so unconscionable. They've never come to us and said what would be something they were interested in paying. So I left that olive branch out there, not saying that we've done anything wrong, but as a way to move business forward. I welcome anybody's comments when you have an opportunity to read over that and digest it. But go ahead.
I'm sorry. Also, how many times did we ask them what was going to be overground, what was going to be underground?
That is part of my letter.
Okay.
Yeah, we had actually went back to them and asked them for a revised site plan, and they were silent, and they just kind of held it at us, saying, "Well, your fees are unconscionable." So I kind of put the ball back into their court on numerous different reasons. I just don't think their entire argument has a lot of water that's gonna be held. So I look forward to their response. I hope it's a positive response. I hope Alliance can get the things that they need, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with our fee structure at this particular juncture. So that's my update on AT&T at this point. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Ordinance 4626 on third reading tonight. Do we still want to move forward with that?
I think it's an important ordinance, and the reason I say that is because it does clarify even more that we're not counting aerial square footage, but it's council's pleasure. I mean, you guys are the boss. I put it out there because I saw something that I thought needed a little bit of a correction or at least a little bit more information. We drafted something and we handed it to you. Do I think we'd be safe if we didn't pass it? I do. But I feel like it's a loophole and it's something that people are going to keep kind of toying with. So why not close the loophole if you can? But it's, like I said, completely up to you. If you don't like it, we can certainly come up with something else. Last meeting, I wanted to address very briefly. Dr. Lonis had asked me about what was the procedure for adding something to the agenda. And I did look through the council notes. I'm sorry?
Rule 401.
Yeah, and what I ended up coming up with was that it did not need, I thought I heard President Gurn say it needed to be a super majority, and I don't believe it did. It just needed to be a majority to add it to the docket, which you obviously had by council's pleasure. So I think terming it a super majority, I don't think that was correct, if I heard correctly, but any majority would have been able to get that on the docket.
And that's only because it was introduced during council.
Correct, yeah. If I recall correctly, it's Rule 5, I think, of council, somewhere right around there. It's just literally the...
Yeah, it was, I thought it was 4.0.
Okay. Like I said, I looked at it, I saw something that definitely said majority to add. So, the city did submit our plan for remediation to the Ohio EPA through our outside counsel. So that we're going through that as well. I don't see a lot of pushback on Ohio EPA regarding our plan. They were very willing to listen and let us submit whatever we thought was appropriate, and that's what we've done at this point. So perhaps at next council meeting, myself and Safety Service Director can outline that a little bit more on how we plan on remediating the thousands of tons of topsoil that we have. And then unfortunately, the last little bit that I have is that the mark sign is blown out again. So it lasted until our supercell hit on Saturday, and the back side of the sign has all of it. I can't tell if they're broken or if they're just kind of out again, but nonetheless, I'll be in touch with the property director or maintenance director to see if we can't get that fixed again. I just hope it doesn't take 2 years. So, other than that, can I answer any questions? Yes.
As far, just to go off of what the mayor said about the housing board, do you think you have enough staff to take care of what's coming in? I know Eric
Yes
only works,
and
one day a
no.
week?
I think the first part of it is locating the people that are actually the property owners. I've had to use the police in order to locate them because sometimes the addresses that they give they're no longer at. I think our biggest thing that's going to be a little bit frustrating is that when that ordinance went through, there isn't a ton of teeth. It's an unclassified misdemeanor, which means it's not punishable by jail or anything like that. We're going to have it's fines at this point, and that doesn't usually compel people to fix what they need to fix. For the last couple, I've been partnering with Randy, our health director, and anything that's been condemned, we are putting it on the list to demolish. And there are several houses that have been demolished just in this area. The next one that I think we have on our list might be on Hester. And they're just very blighted properties. But yeah, it's going to be a process, and obviously we need funds to demolish. Help me, is it like about $5,000 a home, or is it more?
Usually closer to 10.
Okay, plus any permitting that we're supposed to get and stuff like that. So, and then we use funds, I believe it's grant funds, in order to do that. So they get on the list, and when we get the funds, then we do 5 or 6 of them real quick, and then we have to wait. I don't see some of the properties here in Alliance that cannot be fixed. Condemnation, once it's condemned, they have to submit a very articulate plan with a builder in order to keep that property from being demolished. It's very unfortunate, but the state of disrepair that some of these are in, it would be a complete rebuild. So to answer your question, yes and no. I have probably about, I think the mayor's office has about 80, and I've been kind of right around the first 20. And my issue just becomes, again, finding these people to serve them, because due process is necessary before I can do anything. If they don't remediate the property, I might be able to convince Judge Zumbar to do a contempt, which is kind of what happened with Mr. Marshall's property for the McCaskey Register. That was actually charged as a jailable offense, which was an M3 against misdemeanor in the 3rd degree for our building codes. But the personal property stuff did not come in at that level. So when the ordinance was passed. So we will continue to chug forward. It's not the most imposing thing that we could have ever have done to the property owners. And truthfully, and just to alleviate any concerns, from the first ones that I've seen, they are property owners. It's not landlord, tenant, or anything like that. It's property owners. It's people that lived in the property at some point. And the other thing that Alliance has that's very interesting is they have these like legacy transfers. So it's hard to narrow down who actually owns the property when a son or daughter, third removed from the actual homeowner. Like, do they even know that they have an interest in this property? I'm dealing with one over on Main Street. The son is supposed to be the heir, but he currently has an arrest warrant out, and good luck finding him. So who do I serve and how? So it goes along with the whole USADS stuff. Service is a big thing, and we're going to keep working through it. I did submit the first 10 complaints, and then I was told that I needed to get a different document for the confidential identifiers of the individuals so that we could actually charge them through the clerk of court. So we're working
That's
through
what,
that.
as far as your budget goes, does the council have to approve that, or how does that go?
I just do it part and parcel. Whatever comes into my office, civil or criminal, I just handle.
No, okay, I mean, as far as additional staff that you might need.
That might be something that we would look at in the future.
Okay.
I'm not making that proposal yet. I just don't know what that looks like. I think in an ideal world, I would love to have a civil paralegal or something along those lines and my criminal paralegal. But I'm not going to burden council with that at this point. I just try to get it done.
Okay.
I just try to get it done.
Thank you.
Yep.
I have a question. The numbers that you just threw out, you said 80 properties, and then
I think it's about 90 actually, and I've had
those
the
are
first.
condemned?
Well, no, those are the ones that actually have violations that
Okay.
would lead to either condemnation or the unclassified misdemeanor coming in. I want to say that it's like a 5-point scale sort of thing. You know, you have your A, B, C properties, and then we're really trying to hone in on the D and F properties, but there could be something wrong anywhere. And then if you look at the Alliance Code, it's very interesting because the grass cutting and weeds falls under a different section of our code, and it has a different penalty than our actual, like, what we had passed regarding the ABC and the inspections. Grass cutting is, I believe, a minor misdemeanor, whereas the other ones are unclassified misdemeanors, which makes my complaint have to have 2 different code sections for violation and what the penalty is and stuff like that, because you're entitled to know what your penalty is. So there's a lot that goes in there depending on what we cite them under.
So when you are talking A, B, C, D, F properties, are you utilizing the Western Reserve as the
We
finding?
come up with a different scale.
Okay.
I believe myself, Pete, and Mike might have met on that, and there was a different scale that I thought was approved by the city.
Was I not here for that?
Go ahead.
Whatever the scale is in the ordinance.
It is in the ordinance, yes,
I
yeah,
think it is A through F.
yeah.
Yeah, so-
I mean, I wouldn't be using something that you guys
Right.
didn't provide, so.
Okay, so they're Western Reserve property.
I think the ordinance was based off of that.
That was based off of that
It might be the same
funding. Okay.
thing. I
but
just
there
know
were
that
some
it has
fine
like,
tunings.
so like the roof has 5 things, A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, F. And then the siding has that, and then the curb work has that. I want to say there was 5 or 6 different categories that went towards the house, and then you get a grade on everything.
Okay, so when you say that, you're not directing that from that. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yes.
Is it safe to say, once they get to you, they're kind of, we're not talking about fixing up anymore? It's,
The ones that I have seen are not necessarily fixable. There are probably most blighted properties.
Okay.
And
Councilwoman King?
I guess my list isn't necessarily the same as Randy's, Health Director Radzowski's list. He has enormous power through the public health. If there is any type of nuisance, if there's any type of disease or vermin or anything like that, he can make a very quick decision, and it goes through an appeal process through them instead of through the courts. Utilizing him in that capacity, now, don't want to overuse him, but that gets things done a little bit faster.
Yeah.
oh, no. Okay.
You mentioned topsoil. Is it clean topsoil?
Okay, well, yes. So what we were doing with our topsoil is that we were mixing clean topsoil with biosolids in order to create what we thought was like enhanced topsoil. The Ohio EPA basically looks at that as like a soil amendment. And because we were using our biosolids, that soil has a little bit more phosphorus than normal topsoil would have. The Ohio EPA won't let us just use it as topsoil, but they will let us use it as fertilizer. So we can't use it to the depth that we would like to use it in order to use it in our parks and the soccer fields and stuff like that. But we can use it as a soil amendment. Although at next council meeting, we'll give you the entire plan that we've submitted to the Ohio EPA.
Alleys.
I'm sorry?
Alleys.
Alleys? I don't believe we can, I don't think so. But I don't mind looking into it.
There's arson property. It's sitting. Is there and it's on Grant Street. And then there was a house that caught fire a month ago. It's already down. I don't have the exact address, but it's right off of Arch Street, behind that old Jay's grocery store. And it's just 2 piles of kindling wood, and it looks horrible. They still got the yellow tape around it and everything with the arson sign.
So if it's under investigation, we can't necessarily do too much with it, because technically it's evidence of the crime. So as soon as that's lifted, we may be able to do something with it.
Okay, I don't see anybody here tonight from the APD, but people still popping off 4th of July fireworks in our neighborhood.
Okay. I'll let Chief X know. It is, I will let you know that I think I ran court last Wednesday. I've had to cover for Eric because he's been in Europe. And I want to say I had 2 or 3 of those complaints already.
Okay.
And that was actually that weekend. It was just later on at night. It was like 11:30 or 12 or 1 o'clock. So yeah.
Hear a pop
Yep.
every now and again, but
The best thing I can do is tell the police, because they're the ones that can do the charging on it, if they find the individual that's popping them off. I don't like them in the city limits, but we try to cater to everyone to enjoy the 4th of July. But now here we are at the 20th of July. And I mean, honestly, that just becomes self-restraint and not being foolish. But I will let you know that I have prosecuted it, and those people have fines and court costs, and most of them just walked in and said, yep, I did it. So, I mean, if we can find them, we'll bring them in.
thank you.
Mr. Knowles?
One last thing on the housing subject. Under the citations that you talked about, is there any leeway that you would like council could have to change give it more teeth per se? Or?
Well, I mean, we would have to amend it to be,
Right.
I think at one time prior to everything that was happening, I thought it was a misdemeanor of the 3rd degree, and now it's gone down to that unclassified misdemeanor. I mean, making it something, it's actually twofold. If council were to do that, the people that are the owners that are charged would be entitled to a public defender. So that might also help the situation, because if it's jailable, then they would be entitled to counsel. And that might, sometimes I get a lot of things done just by having someone that is on their side explaining the legal issue to them, rather than me, because if I explain it, they're saying, well, you're from the city and you're just coming after us. So if the code section or the ordinance was to be amended to something that would have the possibility, not saying I would enforce that, but possibility, it would maybe alleviate some stuff. But I can't guarantee that one way or the other. I mean, we still have drunk drivers, and that's punishable by 180 days. We still have domestic violence, that's punishable by 180 days. If you make it a misdemeanor in the 3rd degree, that's 60 days maximum, all maximum sentences. No one would ever see that, but I don't know. It's a very specific deterrent, we'll put it that way. It only deters that one individual. I don't think it's going to have the uniform of, oh man, they're really serious about this, we all better fix our properties. I don't think it has that effect. And that's just the criminal code in general. It doesn't have a specific deterrence situation.
Okay, any further questions for the law director? Seeing none, we'll move on to Auditor Knowles.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President, council members. Under new business tonight, there's 2 ordinances I'll mention. 5626 is an ordinance to buy the sewer vacuum truck. This does appropriate funds, so if it's something you guys wanted to pass tonight, you have to waive going to finance. Most of it was really budgeted during the budget process, but not the $200,000 that comes out of master capital. I think the way Doug prepared the budget, he had it all coming out of water and sewer, and according to Mike Drager, it should be split amongst those 3, and I don't disagree with that. So it's just something we did not account for that in the budget. So in order to move this through, if you guys want to tonight, it has to be amended, or it has to be passed to waive. And then under 5826, this is introduced by Bagheera, but this is something that came out of some of the finance committee meetings we had last year. We were scrutinizing the parks finances and sort of trying to make sure that they were set up to be stable for the future. Over the years, we found out more or less that their levy funds are pretty flat, so they're not really in a position to handle spikes of various kinds that can hurt their operations there. So 2 of the things we talked about in finance last summer was to give them their revenue from the rentals, which we did that a few months ago, and then this was another one where when they have employees that are eligible to retire, or when they leave, they don't get quite as much, but when they retire, they're eligible for pretty good sized payouts. And the example I'd use is their carryover balance this year was $12,000. So if they get a retirement that's $20,000, $30,000, they can wipe out the whole fund. And technically, we'd probably have to support that through the general fund anyway. So this is allowing them to have their payouts covered by the general fund. They have 6 full-time employees in the park levy. They have a couple part-timers. Part-timers, unless they're permanent part-time, don't have sick time, so it would not be them. It's going to mostly be the full-time people. There's 3 that are probably nearing, I don't want to say nearing retirement, but could retire someday in the near future. Not that there's anything planned that I'm aware of, but otherwise there's some other people that have a long way to go. So the effect on this fund can be significant. The effect on the general fund of $5 million is very little. So I feel like it's a good idea for them to keep their stability and give them, when they're planning now their 3-year forecast, it's nice for them to know that they don't have to budget for large payouts that they can't afford to do. So anyways, we don't have to have action on that tonight. There's nothing pending as far as a retirement that I know of. It's just something that we thought we would put forth to council to see if you guys agree with that. And then under reports, number 4 is just the update on the June's finances. The general fund balance is $5.3 million. It's up by almost $200,000 versus the beginning of the year. You guys remember, it seems to be like up and down. So right now we're in a pretty solid shape for that. As far as the budget We're at 48% of the budget, which you would be, normally gauging that at about 50% at the mid-year point, so we're slightly ahead. The majority of the wage increases to the general fund are not settled, as we all know, so those will all happen eventually, and those will be retro to the beginning of the year. The fire department did receive their contractual wage increase went into effect 7/1, that was 2%, so that wouldn't show up in these numbers yet, but their contract is settled through until the middle of next year. Revenue is down slightly, we talked about that last month, with income tax being the main reason what's down a little bit compared to last year. There's some more other pages in here that have some of the other funds. We're hoping to schedule a finance committee meeting and go over some things in more detail than what we did tonight, but I know the members have been in contact about that, and I'll let Dr. Lonis update us on that, but that's all I have for tonight.
Any questions for the auditor? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to standing committee reports. Councilman Mugera with Streets and Alley.
No formal report tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you. Property and Lands, Councilwoman Cherry. Anyone on the committee to add? I would suggest that we get together with Planning, Housing, Zoning and get a date for the first workshop. So
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. And I thought what we could maybe do is have a series of meetings instead of, one big meeting to talk about everything, talking about specific things within, I'll just use Canton's as a guideline, talking about maybe utilities for one meeting, zoning for another, tax, tax abatements or how those all work and how those would affect the city. So that way nobody gets burned out from one marathon meeting. So I don't know if before council would be the most appropriate time for that.
I can work.
You start about 5:20, 5:25.
Yeah, I think like a
Give you
45-minute meeting. Yeah, I don't know when Ms. Cherry is going to be back or.
Right, I don't know either. Maybe you could put an email together and just kind of put down what you're thinking for the topic.
Yeah.
And then between myself or Councilwoman King, because we're both on that committee as well.
Okay.
And then narrow it down. Once we got it, then we'll go ahead and open it up for the public. So.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, next is utilities.
No formal report tonight, but I did want to announce that there's a Water Sewer Advisory Board meeting Friday, 31st of July, 8 a.m. in the second floor conference room, to be followed by a Utilities Committee meeting, short, because it's the same people. So.
Okay. Any questions? None? Move on to safety and judiciary.
No formal report, thank you.
Okay. Community development, Councilwoman King.
No formal report tonight, sir.
Okay.
But did they get someone to replace Pete?
No, not yet. It's the new posting for the planning and development director just got posted.
I saw it. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Next is finance. The auditor originally had said that we were going to get together for a finance committee meeting. I am looking to do it this Tuesday, or a week from tomorrow, the 28th. During that time, we would like to discuss mid-year review of the numbers. RETA, Regional Income Tax Association.
Yes.
Okay. Also, elected officials' pay by the ordinance that was passed needs to be reviewed a year out. So we're going to start to introduce a discussion on that. And then also discuss possibly non-bargaining 3-year pay tables as well at that meeting. But we'll have a public release for Finance Committee meeting when it is decided. Also, I would like to mention something quick about Resolution 5526. This is the resolution to discontinue recognition of the FUE, and then the previous members would go into the non-bargaining section. And I wanted to pass out the last scale that was done in 23, 24, and 25 for non-bargaining, just as information for members of council, so I have that up here. Thank you. Once again, that's going to be a subject for our Finance Committee meeting. Just a reminder about the FUE contract. It was introduced on March 2nd. It was rejected on May 4th. So we're coming up on 3 months. I think it's important that we find closure so that we can finish this year's employment pay raises and get this taken care of. It's been going on since, well, it could have started in October, so it's been going on for quite some time. Tonight would be the second reading. There will be no action. So the first meeting in August, it'll be up for vote. Just ask for your support. Thank you. Property, excuse me, planning, zoning, and housing. Oh, sorry.
Real quick, did you have a time for next Tuesday for that meeting?
It would be 5:25.
That's not very long. I'd go earlier. I'd go earlier than that.
For the Finance Committee meeting?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'd like what Philip was saying.
No, I'm saying his finance.
There's people that be
Oh, I'm
working and
sorry.
stuff.
Okay.
It depends what day. I know that maybe 5:15 would be the earliest. I work till 5.
I'll do this.
We'll have a public notice out within a day or two. So you're ready for?
Yeah, for
Okay.
my committee.
Planning, zoning, and housing?
Yeah, ordinance 5726, which is talking about the residential electrical inspector pay, basically. I'm going to ask for no action on it tonight, but basically it's just about retention, making sure we can keep our good inspectors in place, and recognizing what the fees are out there. There's no increase to the contractors to the fee scale that they would pay. This is just what the city pays the inspector to conduct their inspection. And this is for residential inspections only, not commercial.
Any questions? I have one. What was the original pay? Or what,
I believe
it
it's
says
50.
90
I believe it was 50,
So
or
it's
is
going from
50.
50 to 90?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then any inspection afterwards would be, I believe, $40 per pay, or per inspection.
What was the reason, what was the request for this to be raised from 50 to 90?
I think job retention. I think, from what I've been told, the inspection group, I guess it'd be maybe Shane, it's really hard to find an inspector. And when finding one, keeping them. It's a competitive job market, and this is just recognizing that.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Not really a question, but when they get the $40, it's when they do multiple ones. So if they come to Alliance and do two,
Okay.
they actually if this passes, they'll make less than they do for one. But
For one, okay.
yeah, but if they're here already, because there's probably some travel involved. So
Okay.
when they come over, they get paid less to do more. But
I read them. I thought it was if they had a re-inspection. So, okay.
Okay. Thank you. Next is public speaks. Let's see here. Please come up and state your name, address, and topic. You have 3 minutes for your public speaks. Public speaks requires anyone who wishes to speak during public comment portion of the meeting must sign in before the starting time of the meeting. Those signing up to speak will be allowed 3 minutes to speak. There will be no debate between speakers or members of council. No profane, obscene, insulting, disrespectful, or disruptive speech shall be permitted. First is Sandy Collins.
Do I state my name and all that? Okay. My name is Sandy Collins. I reside at 130 West High Street. I'm in Ward 2. 3 years ago, I approached City Council and asked them for some help with the fireworks. And I thought the new city ordinance that they came up with would help. It has not. Fireworks in my area start in April. Any day, any time of day. Ward 2 is not following the law. The officers are not fully enforcing it. From 6/19 of 26 to 7/6 of 26, in 17 days, they had 39 calls for service because of the fireworks. They didn't do anything to any of them, even on return calls. No citations issued. This tells me I'm not alone. We reported a neighbor on Father's Day. They came down, told him he couldn't do it because it wasn't the right date and time, told him about the ordinance, said if we had any other problems to call him back. So on July 3rd, we did call him back 3 times. They went down there, and the last time they was there, they said that the homeowner said that they would quit letting off fireworks. That girl didn't even live there. It was the same house. You're going to the same house with the same people. There was one lady there on Cambridge Street said she lived there, but she lived up on Cambridge Street. Next day she went to jail anyway, so anyway. On July 4th, she got into trouble. Those fireworks that they're setting off, they're setting them off in the middle of the street. They're coming down on our roofs, our garage roofs, our cars, swimming pools. This is no way, and this is going on. It was bad the 4th of July, but this has gone on since April. What do? Call the police department every single day and say, come up here, they're letting fireworks off again? They get tired of hearing from you. That's probably why we had to call 3 times the last time. The state says you got to have 150 feet away from all inhabited dwellings for overhead fireworks. 50 foot for on-the-ground ones. I don't think there's many houses in the city of Alliance that have 150 feet that they can stay away from an inhabited dwelling. And there are many, many cities that have already done away with this, where you have to go where the professionals do them, at the park, good time, good place, and we wouldn't have all this. I can read you off the list. I can make you a copy of the list. I'm sure there's even more. And as far as those call for service reports, I went downtown. I'd like to do a little more digging because it's been going on since the 17th also, even past the 6th of July. But what I'm saying is, I have got a husband who is not well. We've even gone as far as thinking of renting somewhere out of town that we could go to get away from some of this. And that's great if it's just over the 4th or the 5th. But if it's going to go from April to August like it did last year, we've had enough. I mean, have your fun, but don't interrupt our lives. That'd be very hard for us to do. Very hard. Our animals are terrified. One's in the bathtub shivering and drooling, one's against the basement door shaking. This shouldn't go on. That air quality the night of the 4th, I believe, was worse than what they told us to stay out of from these fires. 3 minutes? Okay. Where am I going? Okay. Well, we're just asking you to consider banning them altogether other than in the hands of the professionals. And you might actually save something bad from happening. And I do thank you for your time, and I'm a nervous speaker, but I don't want to have to move. Good day.
Next is David Wright. Hello. Yes, my name's David Wright. I'm here representing the village of Sebring as their mayor. I'm here to discuss Westville Lake. The rumor mill is kicked up again that the city of Alliance intends to remove the dam. That's our secondary water supply. So I would like to find out if that is true. If it is true, is there any chance that we could maybe partner to find some grants and some other funding to restore the dam so that we could continue to use it? I've also heard rumors that they were going to lower the level, which I seen that last year in the fall. The level was down quite a bit, and they would be all right to do that and keep the dam the way it was. So I'm just trying to get some information on Westville Lake as it pertains to our secondary water supply.
Okay, well, I just wanted to talk, you can come to the Water Supervisory Board on the 31st, and we can put that on the agenda.
Okay, 31st, yeah, and where's that at?
31st on the second floor of Congress Room on Friday, 8 a.m.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Thank you. Okay, next and last is Randy Elliott.
Hello, Brandy Dothel, 2115 South Seneca with my weekly report. I just, first I wanted to thank the mayor and the administration. Your blight plan that you're discussing is very proactive, which is all anybody's been asking for. So it is much appreciated. I'm curious about the ordinance, about the fees. I'm not a lawyer, but I've listened really, really well. And when we had the finance committee meeting and AT&T was there, they said multiple times that it wasn't the cost of the permit, that it was the fact that it was a percentage, and they believed that was a PUCO violation. So I'm just curious, before you guys pass it, did someone call PUCO and just ask them? Because nobody has said that that confirmation was received. So just for my own peace of mind. The ordinance to change the residency for the safety service director, I don't have a problem with it, but it just makes more sense if we just change that for the position rather than for the person. Just a thought. When you have your data center meetings, please bring the developer who has approached us in to have a conversation. I read the proposal. Not gonna lie, a lot of it makes sense. So I think it's only fair to let the developer also make their pitch to the people and know if we're interested. If we're not, great, but at least we've listened. And then finally, my other question was, where did we post the job for the planning and development director? Because if we're just posting those kinds of jobs locally, I feel like our net is very small, and I'm hoping that we post it even on some place like Indeed to cast a wide net, because we might get someone from out of town, someone who's maybe the pay's not great, but maybe someone who's young in their career and is energetic and has new ideas, and we might not find that person locally. So that was just my suggestion. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That concludes public speaks. Next would be third readings.
Ordinance 4626 introduced by Vergara, an ordinance amending section 117.02 of the codified ordinances of the City of Alliance to update and establish engineering and planning fees and declaring an emergency.
Okay, Councilman Vergara.
Move to adopt ordinance 4626.
We have a motion to adopt, seconded by Councilman Edwards. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll do the roll call.
Vergara.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Pico.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Lonis.
Yes.
Mastriani.
Yes.
Okay. Next is second readings.
Ordinance 5426 introduced by Edwards and Mastriani, an ordinance waiving the residency requirements set forth in section 737.01 Ohio Revised Code for Alliance Director of Public Safety and Service Blaine Lewis and declaring an emergency.
No action.
No action. Next is resolution 5526.
Resolution 5526 introduced by council as a whole, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Alliance, Ohio, declaring a collective bargaining agreement with the Federation of United Employees FUE unit has expired, rejecting the proposed successor agreement, withdrawing voluntary recognition of said bargaining unit, and authorizing the mayor and law director to provide notice thereof.
I have a comment on that, if I can do that.
Sure.
I have a real problem with this invoice, this resolution for one thing. When you go back on this thing, the history of this, you led an effort to get this thing not passed, okay? And it didn't pass. And then you came up and say you wanted amendments to it. Well, those amendments were not allowed. Then the next thing I heard that what you wanted for those amendments, you took to the administration and said present this to the bargaining unit. Okay, so I asked.
I didn't do that.
Did you give him what you
I
wanted?
gave everybody a copy of it.
Well, then that was an intent to go to them and say this is what we want. In other words, so we're negotiating what we're going to vote on. Then the next thing I know, this thing comes out, and all I heard when this was going on, this isn't personal, this isn't personal. This seems spiteful to me, is what it does. It really does. And there's the reason that it went so long. Yeah, we had trouble getting the costs at first, but then it just went on and on and on and on from that. And whenever, I think, years ago when we had all these unions come in, it was exactly because of what some of this happened, because the non-bargaining people were not being given raises that they should have been given, that the other people were getting that were in bargaining units. Now we're going to do away with the bargaining unit?
Well, on the night of the vote, you can have your say on whether you...
Well, I'm just saying, I'm just making a comment on it.
Okay.
Am I not allowed to make a comment?
Sure. I mean,
But-
normally we do it when there's been a motion to adopt. And then
But, well, it's been hanging around long enough anyhow.
months.
But, no, I'm just saying, why is council as a whole, you're the one that introduced it.
Okay.
I don't know why that's,
If you'd like the name removed, we can do that.
well, I'm just saying, I just don't, two people have already left from this bargaining unit. And we just said something about the electrician inspector to try to get people fair wage for what they're doing, okay?
There were 3 out of the 15 that there was an issue with. You know, there's still 12 there that there wasn't an issue with. So, okay. So you got 3 people holding up.
Do you talk about 3 people in the unit,
I believe so.
bargaining unit,
I mean, if you look at
that
the,
were holding it up? What are you talking about?
there's 15 members in the FD,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
There was discrepancies or concerns concerning 3.
Well, one of them's was the superintendent of IT, right? That you wanted that to go and not be
Yeah,
a
not to
super.
go into the union.
Okay,
right?
so you want them to
Non-supervisor.
go into another bargaining unit where they can strike then? Because they can't strike in
It's a
this,
supervisor union, isn't it?
but he doesn't have to be.
When
He
that
can.
was created, it was created that it would be.
I agree with that, but all he'd have to say is, I'm the only person in that. I don't want to be a supervisor anymore. So now I can go to another unit and strike.
Okay.
I mean, to me, that doesn't make much sense at all. This whole thing, like I said, I heard all this, personal, not personal, this is personal.
not
If you want to
personal,
get rid of it, of a
The
unit,
ordinance was rejected. Where's the solution? This is a solution.
the solution is to get rid of it.
It's not CERB recognized. It's
We
not-
have other not served recognized, yes, unions too.
Do we have a disagreement with that union?
I don't know.
I haven't heard of that.
I mean, it seems like, why are we doing administrative work either? I mean, the people want us to help them as a go-between between the resident and the
We're the
administration.
legislature, we have the say over the finances.
The finances, yes,
Correct.
but who's in it? But who's in a union and who isn't? We don't have
Your
that say.
disagreement is noted, we'll go ahead and move on. This should be held for when the ordinance or resolution is up for debate.
Fine.
Thank you. There's no action tonight for Resolution 55. That leads us into new business.
Ordinance 5626, introduced by Edwards, an ordinance appropriating funds and authorizing and directing the Director of Public Safety and Service to enter into contract for the purpose of purchasing a new sewer vacuuming truck through the cooperative purchasing programs, or to advertise for bids if required, and to enter into contracts for the lowest and best price, but for a cost not to exceed $600,000 in any case, and declaring an emergency.
Are you saying this doesn't need to go to finance? then?
I'm saying you could waive it. Because it does otherwise, because there's appropriation of $200,000.
Okay.
So-
But there's enough in our capital to cover that?
There's money in there, yeah.
Okay.
There was last month around $2.5 million.
Okay.
And then we just appropriated $550,000 for the cemetery, but hopefully we'll get some of that back. We did police cruisers, street trucks, so we are, tapping into it. This is
Okay,
another
on-
$200,000.
On this ordinance, I'd like to waive the requirement to go to finance committee.
Okay, we have a motion to waive the finance. Do I have a second? Councilman Mastriani. Roll call, please.
Figuera?
Yes.
Edwards?
Yes.
Kiko?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Lonis?
Yes.
Mastroni?
Yes.
Okay. Councilman Edwards.
We'll just do no action then.
That leads us to 57. 5726.
Ordinance 5726, introduced by Mastriani, an ordinance reestablishing wages for part-time certified residential electrical inspector and declaring an emergency.
No action.
No action for 5726. Next is ordinance 5826.
Ordinance 5826, introduced by Bagara, an ordinance requiring that accumulated leave payouts, severance payments, and other separation-related compensation due to employees of the Alliance Department of Parks, Recreation, and Public Lands upon retirement or separation from service shall be paid from the city's general fund, providing that the Park Levy Fund, Fund 271, shall not be charged for such payments.
No action. No action? Okay. That concludes new business. Old business, do we have any old business? Seeing none, that'll take us to good legal order roundtable. We'll start with Councilman Bugara.
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Ed.
Have a good evening.
Councilwoman Kiko.
I just want to thank Jennifer Merriman. I think she's here. I brought a couple mowing issues that were really kind of a safety issue, and she took care of it, and I just want to thank her. And also, I really want to thank the first responders of our city. There's been a lot of stuff that has happened that has been tragic, and I just hope that the city of the whole is always prayerfully caring for our safety services, because nowadays it's not easy, and I just want to show appreciation for all that they do, because I can't imagine some of the things that they've had to walk through as of late. And so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman King.
I'd just like to say that I know that we're going into our Carnation Festival, and then on August 22nd will be our MLK Parade, Martin Luther King Jr. and festivities down at Maple Beach Park. I've received several papers back for reservations to be in the parade, and I appreciate that. And I would like to please, come out one and all. It's a good time, good food, good fellowship. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Mastriani.
Nothing tonight, but Mr. Mayor, here's a copy of the water sewer thing. Just so you have a physical copy. Thank you.
Okay, that leads us into motion to adjourn. No motion to adjourn. Councilwoman King, seconded by Councilman Bugara. Roll call.
Bagara.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Kiko.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Lonis.
Yes.
Mastriani.
Yes.
We're adjourned. Thank you.